Good roads like the one that we're standing on right now are a rare commodity, and when you have bad roads, what do? Well, you go and buy a Mahindra, and we have the latest from the Mahindra stable. This car is the NuvoSport and it is powered by a 1.5 litre mHawk 100 diesel engine. So stay tuned as we bring you all the latest about the new NuvoSport. The new NuvoSport is powered by a 1.5 litre diesel engine. Well, this diesel mill produces 100 bhp and 240 Newton meters of torque. It also comes with a new chassis. Well, why do I say new since this vehicle is new? Because it shares a resemblance with the Quanto. Yes, essentially, it is a facelifted version of the Quanto. You have a new front end and rear end, so let's take a look. So as you can see, we have a very aggressive looking front end which is edgy in its design. You have these LED brows and aggressive looking headlight. You have a 6-slat grille. You have this honeycomb air ducts and something that resembles a skid plate. And apart from that, you also get an air scoop in front. So the overall design philosophy from the front definitely looks very edgy and aggressive. Let's go over to the rear and see what that looks like. So what's new on the rear end of this vehicle? Well, of course, apart from the NuvoSport badge, you get smoke tail lamps, you get a redesigned spare wheel cover, you have the reverse parking lights on the bumper, and you get a step plate for the third row occupants. Well, you also have this sporty looking spoiler which has been integrated into this vehicle. Now, I'm not too satisfied with the look of the rear end because it's not as edgy and aggressive looking as the front end, but then again it does the job well of carrying the design from the front to the rear, but not as aggressive looking as the front end again, so that is a bit of a letdown. So the NuvoSport essentially looks like the Quanto, but there are a few changes. You have these bigger tires, so they are a 215 by 65 R16, which are bigger than the ones that were there on the Quanto. You also have a new chassis, which is a body-on-frame, and it's not a monocoque, so it's going to be slightly different from the vehicles that Mahindra does come out with. So we're going to be driving this vehicle a little, and we're going to be telling you a little more about how it handles and how it rides as well. We've been driving around in this NuvoSport for a while now, and the vehicle is definitely big in size, so you're getting a lot of space, but at the same time you do have to take care of the vehicle in traffic because sometimes seeing the edges or the corners of the vehicle is a bit difficult from where I am sitting. Of course, you can adjust the seat height, but then again you can only adjust it for going down when you're sitting, and of course when you get up then you can adjust it to go back up. So that is definitely something which Mahindra have not thought through and have not engineered it too well into this vehicle. But then again, for the availability of an option like that is also something which everyone does not take care of, so brownie points to Mahindra for that. And apart from that, this vehicle comes with 2 driving modes, that's power mode and eco mode. In power mode you get more output from the engine, so the engine gets remapped, and when you're driving in power mode and when you're driving in eco mode, it's remapped for fuel efficiency. So in power mode you just floor the accelerator, and yeah, it's good pickup, good response. The turbo is quite handy, it picks up speed quite well. So we're driving in eco mode right now, and as you can see, I have floored the accelerator pedal. It takes a while for the engine to respond because the performance is definitely down as compared to power mode, to save on fuel and to get a better economy out of the vehicle. There is definitely, because of the chassis, a fair bit of body roll on this vehicle, but again, nothing too worrisome. It also comes with a 5-speed manual transmission. You don't need to shift that often, especially on highways in power mode. This vehicle does have long legs. As you can see, we're riding over some really bad roads right now. In fact, it's no road. We're in South Delhi, which is a shame that South Delhi is like this, but then again, really bad roads, but the NuvoSport is taking care of it with ease. So not getting tossed around too much in this vehicle, a little bit. It's quite a fun to drive vehicle. The steering is a bit on the heavy side. The suspension is definitely stiff, so riding over potholes, bumps, broken roads, it's a breeze. The suspension gobbles it up with ease. Steering being on the heavy side, you do need to put in a little effort to maneuver this vehicle here and there. So we're sitting inside the new NuvoSport, and essentially it does look a lot like the Quanto, but of course you get an infotainment system which is new. It is an aftermarket infotainment system from Kenwood. You also get a new steering wheel with steering mounted controls, and you get inputs for auxiliary and USB. Apart from that, you also get a 12-volt power socket right here. You get these glossy finish accents on the dash as well as the door handles. You have armrest, and you get a lot of cubby holes and spaces as well. You have electrically adjustable ORVMs, but they are not electrically retractable. Apart from that, you get power and eco mode. Now in eco mode, this vehicle returns 17.4 kmpl to the liter. In power mode, of course, you can go fast and it's quite zippy. Again, the layout and the way the dash has been designed, very ergonomically convenient, so easy to operate, easy to access. And I'm getting a lot of support while sitting in this chair, so good back support, good thigh support. You can also adjust the position and height of the chair. You also have the option of adjusting the lumbar using a lever on the right side of the chair. So I'm not really too happy with the quality of plastics which have been used. They're decent but not really too great. So I'm sitting in the second row of the NuvoSport, and as you can see, a really roomy cabin. You have a lot of headroom, a lot of knee room, a lot of leg room to stretch out as well. You also have a convenient armrest right here. You also get a bottle holder and cup holders here, and plenty of storage spaces. You also have a flat floor, so seating 3 people over here is also possible and quite comfortable for seating 3 adults, and 3 large adults like me can definitely fit in here with ease. You can recline the backrest as well a little bit, not too much, just a tad bit, because if you're seating people at the back as well, so this is a 7-seater, so if you're seating people in the 3rd row as well, then you can't really recline the rear seat too much. But definitely comfortable and very roomy. You get a good view of the road as well. Again, a very airy and not so claustrophobic cabin. Well, we're sitting in the 3rd row of the NuvoSport, and if you're not a 5-year-old, this is not a fun place to be. It's definitely cramped. I'm about 5'7". My colleague Akash right here is about 6, and well, we both are sitting with our necks bent. So it's going to be pretty bad. Apart from that, another thing I wanted to point out as well is that you don't have AC vents for the 2nd row and the 3rd row, so on a hot summer day it's going to get really hot back here. Of course, you do have these butterfly windows behind me, which we are going to show you soon. These seats are giving me a decent amount of support for my back, not so much support for my thighs, not too much leg room, and quite cramped. So definitely for children I think it is ideal, but for adults it's not an ideal place to be. Well, thank God for small mercies, because the 3rd row is definitely cramped for me. But then again, if you're feeling claustrophobic, you have these butterfly windows, so an advantage to have definitely.
The new NuvoSport is definitely a well-rounded package. The vehicle has some handy features on offer and scores well on the convenience and practicality front as well. The biggest advantage of this compact SUV is space, and I would buy it simply for that. The NuvoSport N8 variant which we drove is available for Rs 9,22,000 ex-showroom Delhi, and I feel it offers a solid bang for your buck. It is also available with a 5-speed AMT variant.
we are here for T1 Prima, that is Tata Truck Racing, and the atmosphere, as you can hear, is pumped with excitement.